The vans are blind. Treherne's in a mini.
I'll see which way they're heading. You stay where you are.
Well, all I know, it wasn't Inspector Spain's eye.
Did they get away all right?
Yes, sir.
It'll take them an hour.
Oh, longer than that, sir. They're going by way of Bleak Hill.
Oh. They're keeping in radio contact?
Oh, the mini hasn't got a radio.
Oh, great. No wonder the crime figures are mounting. I was dead against this, Probert.
Yes, Mr. Spain, I know you were.
Well, you think I was unreasonable?
No, I don't.
Well, what the hell could I do? It's all so damn theatrical. Decoy in vans, Scott and Treherne sneaking out of the side entrance like a couple of spies in false beards. This isn't police work.
Well, I suppose if it comes off, it's all right.
If what comes off?
Well, breaking the protection racket. Isn't that what Mr. Scott's on?
I don't know what he's on. Nobody tells me. I know one thing for sure, though. This is no way to solve anything behaving like a bunch of actors. The correct approach to detection is through patience, diligence, and, if possible, a bit of common sense. And don't let anyone persuade you otherwise. Oh, well, I suppose we've got to sit here now till Scott gets tired of meandering around the countryside. Oh, go and brew up, will you?
Yes, sir.
You got my message? Good. They made you comfortable?
Yes, thanks.
Had a busy morning?
I should stop chasing my tail since I got up.
Accurate description. Sit down, have a drink.
I've got one.
Good. You're satisfied with it, then?
With what?
Your morning. Went well, did it?
Well, on the whole, yes.
Getting Johnny Treherne arrested was a stroke of genius.
Well, I wouldn't put it as high as that.
No, but it was a shrewd move, as you saw it.
Well, yes, I thought so.
Tell me how you did it. Why? Explain why it was so shrewd.
You don't think it was, then?
Oh, we'll get to what I think later on.
All right. Now, Treherne was getting too close for comfort. Well, you'd agree that, wouldn't you?
With reservations.
Found out the dog trap was paying protection. The tape he got from Candy Hassett proved the bowling lanes is a collection centre. Well, he'd have no difficulty in connecting the bowling lanes to me.
So this, then, was the time to put him out of action, as you saw it.
Well, obviously. This is bringing him near to the heart of it all. And I had the means. Spain asked me for my help in finding Candy Hassett's killer. I fed him Treherne, and he gobbled it.
So, with Treherne in a cell, the danger's past.
Right.
And operations can proceed as before.
Oh, Treherne will shoot his mouth off, tell the police all he knows, so what? I had a couple of the boys take the tape away from him. Without that, he has no proof, not a shred.
The central fact, as I see it, is Spain. How convinced he is that Treherne's the man he's looking for.
Why did he arrest him?
You know him.
Exactly. There's nothing subtle here. This is a routine, flat-footed copper we're talking about. Sidwell gave him the evidence he needed. She had a date with Treherne to meet her in the summer house where her body was found. So Treherne was the last person to see her alive, so far as anyone knows.
Exactly. So far as anyone knows.
Scott's got this protection racket on the brain.
You mean there isn't a racket?
Well, there's no evidence, is there? Vallance worked on it for a whole year. Oh, I know he left the force in a hurry, but that doesn't prove or disprove anything. This is a sex murder. Scott made far too wide an assumption linking it with the protection. He had something to work on with Treherne before Scott waltzed off with him.
Well?
Oh, why not? Hate the stuff. Puts a detestable veneer on my stomach. Still, I'm a traditionalist. Brew up and all's well.
Mr. Spain, can you really see Johnny Treherne as a sex killer?
The Johnny Treherne of 2 years ago, no. But since his father was killed, and that's rather different. The big M got him, and his marriage went bust. Yes, it could add up to a sudden, uncontrollable impulse to destroy, especially a young, sexy-looking piece.
Oh, a bit pat, isn't it? Head shrinker stuff.
Well, what else is sex murder if it's not head shrinker stuff?
Oh, that's true enough.
It has to be backed up by proof, of course. And we might have had that. That girl put up a fight. She must have marked her killer.
And Johnny Treherne could have had such marks on his body if we'd had a chance to examine him.
Exactly, but Scott couldn't wait, could he? Oh, no, he has to do everything in a flaming great hurry.
Well, did you suggest it to him?
Well, of course I did, but he pulled the brass on me. Well, if he has taken a killer out of our custody, he'll have to carry the can, won't he? I wonder if the brass will be so delighted with him then.
I'll get some of that detestable veneer.
The trouble with you is you're cheap, shoddy, cut-price article, low model fibre.
You go ahead, enjoy yourself.
You've no imagination either, not a glimmer.
Yeah, I know, I'm a clod.
It took a great deal of imagination to see that a successful protection business could be set up in a dozy place like Sidwell, and none of that vision came from you, my friend. You were content with cheese pairings, as second-rate people always are.
You've been carrying me along on your back all this time. Is that the idea?
What else? I started the business.
Business.
All right, racket, ring, syndicate, any cheap word you like. I started it. Kept it together, breathed life into it. At best, you were no more than a totem pole, a figurehead.
You want me to stand down? Is that what you're on about?
Don't you know?
Look, I'd be very pleased to stand down if you really want to know. Very, very pleased. Look, just give me my cut and we'll set a partnership right here and now. That suits me fine. I couldn't be more pleased.
Without me, you have a house on West Hill, 3 acres and a swimming pool. You're good old Gladhand Gordon Stratton, local boy wonder. Without me, please, without me, you're a cheap criminal.
What the hell are you then?
Neither. Not cheap, not a criminal.
You'll have a tough job proving that in court. Where the hell did all this come from? Villainy, thuggery, all one second-class nasty word you like.
I didn't set this up for gain. I saw it, and I still do, as an exercise in control. The organization and application of power in a so-called democratic community. It was, if you like, an artistic impulse.
Yeah, all right, you're Picasso. But why the hell are you booting me around? What did I do? Can you tell me in simple words?
Get me another drink. Why am I booting you around, as you so elegantly put it? Because you put us into jeopardy. My enterprise, my creation. Because like the poor white trash you are, you have no self-control, no self-discipline.
What's that got to do with it?
What is so tedious about you? What makes any civilized contact with you impossible is that everything has to be explained to you.
Yeah, all right, I'm thick. It's a miracle I was able to build up the largest inquiry agency in the Southwest.
Not at all. All that means is your clients are as thick, mendacious, and criminally minded as you are. Where does self-discipline come into it? All right, I'll tell you. Because you were so besotted by that Hassett piece, you played straight into Scott's hands. Now ask me who Scott is.
All right. Who is Scott?
You were sent down here on detachment from the crime squad to put us out of business.
And I went and played into his hands?
You did?
Look, would it be a bore for you to tell me how?
By getting Treherne arrested, you enabled him and Scott to go on working together, thereby getting closer to us. Too subtle for you?
Much. It makes no sense.
Well, fortunately, I kept my head when Paul Hassett died, unlike you. I got a line on Scott. He's holed up in a crummy boarding house on Rice Hill. But I've had his phone bugged. I know exactly where he is at this moment and what he's doing.
And you've got nothing to worry about, have you?
Not a great deal, no.
Well, in that case, would it be all right if I went home?
No. You can wait till we get a report from the battlefront.
Battlefront?
Oh, pour yourself a drink and relax. And take your jacket off. You're sweating like a pig.
Welcome, son.
Good stuff from the landlord's private stock.
Huh?
A friend of mine.
A good one.
Like these?
Got no option. Emptied my pockets when they arrested me. By the way, a small point. Am I still under arrest?
Where does Inspector Spain stand on that? Any idea?
He's a colleague of yours. You should know.
We're both policemen, yes.
Otherwise, you hate each other's guts.
That's putting it too strongly. differing temperaments is more like it. Spain is ambitious, clever too. He feels quite properly he should pull more rank. Be in a more vital situation than a Devon resort.
You're what they call begging the question, aren't you?
Not entirely. Spain resents my being on his manner. And quite naturally, that colors his judgment slightly. After all, he is a human being.
You're telling him I'm not a murderer is enough to make him say I am?
That's going too far.
Well, indulge yourself. Make a definite statement.
I had to get the brass to make him give you up. That definite enough?
It'll do, for the time being. And by the way, you did tell him I didn't kill Mrs. Hassett, didn't you?
Oh, I don't know that as a positive fact, do I?
Oh, it's a wonderful experience working with you. The certain knowledge you'd stick a knife in my back as soon as look at me is very stimulating.
Drink up. I'll buy you another.
Your assumption is that Stratton runs the racket.
Something wrong with that?
In a word, yes.
Why?
Doesn't fit psychologically. Whoever set up this protection network did a smooth job. That man has to have real imagination, perhaps even an intellect.
And Stratton hasn't.
If he has, he's kept it hidden for years.
He's at least part of it. He owns the bowling alley. The bowling alley's a collection center.
Oh, yeah, he may even be the front man, but the real power, no.
Lean on him. You'll get to the real power.
Obviously, I haven't made myself clear.
No. I buy what you say about Stratton. After all, you know the man better.
I mean my part in this.
Oh, we've been over that.
Yeah, you neglected to ask me if I agreed with your idea.
Oh, and you don't?
I want out, Mr. Scott. I've done all I can be expected to do.
You've done your bit, yes.
Bit, he says. I've been knifed, chloroformed, and arrested for murder. What more do you want for the money you don't pay me?
You'll get paid.
I go back to Sidwell and do what you ask, and I won't be around to collect it. Look, I'm known to these villains, Mr. Scott. You're not.
So, I should perform the next part of the operation.
Well, I admit to a certain prejudice, but it does strike me as the most logical thing to do.
I see. We better have another.
Liquor isn't quicker in this case.
What?
That seduction ploy is for birds, Mr. Scott.
Say, I have to reason you into it, do I? Well, I agree what you say is true. It would be dangerous if you went back and started digging again.
Yeah, you put it down for my lack of courage, if you like.
No, it's not a matter of courage, Johnny.
We must be talking at cross purposes.
It's a matter of talent.
Talent?
You yourself said that whoever set this up, the man behind Stratton, must be high on intellectual ability. So, we must have someone of equal stature to catch him.
Oh, boy, you really laying it on, aren't you?
Now, look, Johnny, you're not a very reliable investigator. You don't inspire much confidence, these bouts of self-doubt, this offbeat, self-deprecating humor. But these are signs of a real talent. I only wish I had it.
You have to be good and stupid, too. Unable to see that all this honey dripping is nothing but a one-way ticket to the cemetery.
A talent that isn't used goes bad on a man.
Yeah, I've got a cliche to cap that. The dead lions and the live donkeys.
All right, I'll take you and drop you back in your seedy little pond. It doesn't smell so good, but at least it's safe.
Ready when you are.
Right.
Slaved my guts out over this, and I've not a penny.
What about Verity Hassett?
Well, what about her?
She's a client of yours?
Well, the outline of that got a little blurred. It started that way.
But she hasn't come across with any cash.
No.
Well, she's a pretty girl, isn't she?
What's that got to do with it?
I don't imagine your passion for opting out extends that far. You're not a married man, are you?
It's just as well, isn't it? We're getting a pay packet.
Do you want a hand? We're coming up. Gotta get help quickly. There's a phone box half a mile up the road. Oh.
That's it. Let's go.
But what about them?
You don't think they're going to walk away from that lot, do you?
Oh, we ain't sure, are we?
Look, the next car that comes along could be the coppers. Come on!
Yes? Yes. What did you do with the lorry? Good. And the getaway car? Now listen. I'm putting the dispersal plan into operation. You have the details? Right. Wait there till I contact you.
What's the dispersal plan?
What it says?
Why be so cagey? Does it mean you're picking it up?
No. Dispersing. Suspending operations.
Permanently?
That's not what suspending means.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Yes, we must talk about that. It's a tricky one.
Don't think you can fob me off, will you?
Is that what you think I have in mind?
It could be. With you, people are expendable like tissue papers.
In other words, you don't trust me.
I do not.
Well, that helps.
That's what makes it tricky. Put your jacket on.
These things happen, I know. You couldn't get the woman to bed in the ordinary way, so you applied a little force, but it got out of hand and you throttled the life out of her. Unfortunate, but understandable.
You've got to help me.
I will. Don't worry. It's not so bad. As you say, Spain is dumb. There'll be blood and bits of flesh under her fingernails, but Spain is dumb. He wouldn't think of following that up, would he?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to help you.
Robert,
Yes, sir.
listen to this. Me, just for the record, Gordon, how did you hear about Mrs. Hassett's death? Stratton? The barman phoned me. When? Right after he dialed 999. But you didn't go out there? No, I couldn't. I'd had a skinful. I couldn't have made it. No, I couldn't. I'd had a skinful. I couldn't have made it.
I'm sorry,
Well, Stratton was running that club with Mrs. Hassett. He had a £10,000 stake in it. Yet when he gets word that she's been murdered, he doesn't go busting out there. No, he goes to bed because he's had too much to drink.
Oh, but the shock would have sobered him up, surely.
Yes, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Because he might have been thinking about the highway code. Don't ask a man to drink and drive. But the roads are empty that time of night. Oh, Probert, there's your job for the day. Complete check on Stratton's movements on the night of the murder.
Come in. Go with him.
I've got my own car.
Yes, but you're tired. You've been overdoing it. You need the strain taken off for a while. Little rest will do you all the good in the world. Don't worry.
Inspector Spain?
This is Treherne. A lorry hit us, top of Bleak Hill.
Where are you speaking from?
Scott's in a bad way. I phoned for an ambulance, but you better get there.
Well, where are you? Give me the... Oh, wouldn't you know it? Scott's piled up on Bleak Hill.
Johnny!
Where'd you keep your car?
Down the street in a locker.
Right, let's have the key. I can't use my own Lex Street's the last place I can show myself.
What's happened?
Would you give me that key?
It's upstairs in a handbag.
Right, go up and get it.
Oh. Have you had your head seen to?
Oh,
Oh, be serious.
it's all right on the outside anyway. Now get me that key.
You are in no fit state to drive.
I'm all right.
I'm coming with you.
You're not.
All right, you don't get the key.
Now, listen to me, Verity. They've started killing people. Your stepmother strangled, Stratton's brains blown out. Now, will you get me that key?
Only if I can come with you.
Look, you hear what I said? I'm talking about murder.
Give me 2 minutes to get dressed.
Candy was strangled. Raped and strangled. It could happen to you.
I said 2 minutes.
You still got that gun?
Top drawer of the desk.